KENS 5 Eyewitness News at 10 starts now.
Developing tonight, a chilling discovery. A pregnant teenager killed. The alleged shooter tries to take his own life, and tonight neighbors tell us what they knew about the girl. When it comes to the future of Obamacare, we're breaking down the new plan unveiled tonight by Republicans on Capitol Hill. And we start with breaking news. 2 former SAPD officers sentenced for their role in a fake undercover operation luring women to have sex with them. Emmanuel Galindo was sentenced to a total of 10 years. Galindo received an additional 8-year sentence, but he'll serve it concurrently, meaning he'll spend just 10 years in prison. And former officer Alejandro Chapa received a total of 6 years in prison. Both men were found guilty of victimizing 25 women in 2015. The officers resigned from their positions with SAPD that same year. A pregnant teenage mom is shot to death today. Police say the shooter knew her. They say the man tried and failed to take his own life after he killed the teenager and her unborn baby. Eyewitness News reporter Marianne Martinez is live on Babcock near Loop 410 with what neighbors are saying about the young mother. Marianne?
Well, Sarah, that teen mom was not only at a full-term pregnancy, 9 months, she had another child. Now, that 1-year-old was in the apartment when this attack happened.
A man in a wooded area off Babcock Road is found with a self-inflicted gunshot. Police say the 35-year-old man was trying to kill himself after he shot and killed a pregnant teenager just moments before.
She was pronounced deceased, but we did have information that she was 9 months pregnant, and so they attempted to transport the victim to University Hospital in an attempt to save the baby, but unfortunately the baby did not make it as well.
The shooting happened in that second-story apartment. Now, neighbors who did not want to go on camera tell us the 15-year-old had been staying in that apartment with her mom for about the last month.
There was a second baby in the apartment at the time of the shooting.
There was also a 1-year-old child inside of the location that was in a cradle that was unharmed.
Police have identified the teen mom as Jennifer Delgado. They say she knew the man who shot her, but wouldn't say how they knew each other.
Now, the 35-year-old shooter is in the hospital in stable but serious condition. His name has not been released, but police say if he survives his injuries, he will be charged with capital murder. Marianne Martinez, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Marianne. With many Americans so polarized, we've seen town hall events across the country get very heated. Tonight, San Antonio Congressman Joaquin Castro hosted a town hall. Eyewitness News reporter Phil Anaya was there, and he's live tonight. Phil, how'd it go?
Well, Sarah, keep in mind most of those heated town halls that you were referring to were Republican town halls. So for the most part, Congressman Castro was welcomed with open arms. In fact, he received a standing ovation when he walked in. Now, he did mention that all of this passion that we saw tonight and that we've seen lately is organic, and he compared it to what we saw with the Tea Party years ago.
Trump and Putin hacking. How long before we know the investigation results?
The night started with questions submitted on paper, topics from President Trump to immigration.
And most of all, Congress needs to do its job and pass an immigration reform bill. All right?
Later in the evening, Congressman Castro took random questions from the audience. About 400 people showed up. One issue on the minds of many, health insurance.
I'm one of the millions of Americans who relies on the Affordable Care Act for my insurance.
Are you able to do a bipartisan fix for health care for us?
Here's my short answer, right? My approach is to be able to fix the parts of the Affordable Care Act that we can fix to make it serve people better.
There were a couple of questions challenging prior Castro votes in Congress, but overall this crowd appeared to be content with their representative, and he offered this message for all Americans.
But y'all, I hope that we can all remember that everybody is basically on the same team. Even though there are some very deep disagreements on policy.
And because this was an official event, Congressman Castro said he would not be talking about a possible 2018 Senate run against Ted Cruz. So all he would say tonight was that he'll make a decision at a later date. Reporting live tonight, Phil Anaya, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Phil. Well, the White House is calling on Congress to look into what it claims is illegal activity by the Obama administration. And Attorney General Jeff Sessions tries to clarify what he meant during his Senate confirmation hearing. Weijia Jiang has more.
The White House is urging Congress to investigate whether the Obama administration ordered surveillance on President Trump's phones before the election.
The president, based on his information and belief, has said that we were surveilled.
On Saturday, Mr. Trump accused the former president of spying on him, though he offered no evidence to back it up. He tweeted, "How low has President Obama gone to tap my phones during the very sacred election process? This is Nixon Watergate. Bad or sick guy." FBI Director James Comey disputed the claim and asked the Justice Department to publicly reject it.
If Director Comey would like to make a statement, we'll all be curious to read it.
Also Monday, Attorney General Jeff Sessions sent senators a letter clarifying his January statement that he did not have communications with the Russians, saying his initial answer was correct. Sessions wrote, "I did not mention communications I had with the Russian ambassador over the years because the question did not ask about them." President Trump kept a low profile Monday. The White House released a photo of him signing his revised executive order on immigration behind closed doors, trading his typical photo op for 3 cabinet members.
With this order, President Trump is exercising his rightful authority to keep our people safe.
The new order temporarily halts new visas from 6 mostly Muslim countries for 90 days, while the administration reviews vetting procedures. Iraq is off the list.
It is reckless, it is dangerous, and it is un-American.
Critics vow to challenge it in court. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Washington.
Let's take a closer look at Trump's revised travel plan. The new ban has several differences from the one signed in January. The president has imposed a 90-day ban on visas for citizens from 6 Muslim-majority countries traveling to the U.S. The updated executive order does not apply to current visa holders, and it removes Iraq from the list of banned countries after Iraq agreed to increase vetting of its citizens.
We cannot risk the prospect of malevolent actors using our immigration system to take American lives.
The executive order also suspends the entire U.S. refugee program for 120 days, but it no longer singles out Syrian refugees by an indefinite ban. Well, it's been exactly 181 years since the Alamo fell to Santa Anna and his Mexican forces following a 13-day siege. Events were held throughout the day to honor those who fought for Texas independence. The defenders were remembered by Alamo living historians. They are the volunteers that host the visitors. There is more help for storm victims, an affordable way for families to rebuild their homes. Bill?
Sarah, the aquifer in great shape. The J17 well is 18.5 feet above average at 686. In the air today, it's all about the mold. This wet, damp condition keeps that count high. It's up near 10,000 today, so you're definitely feeling it. Coming up, we're tracking a cool front and a better chance of rain. First, it's Vinny V. Good evening, sir.
Billy T, what a game. The hot ticket tonight, Spurs Rockets at the AT&T Center, and a Cleveland Indian. He's coming home for big league weekend at the Alamo Dome. That's coming up in sports.